Hello and welcome. These are some of the things that most affected our funds in December. Large fluctuations, policy rate hike in the US, and moderate returns for our funds. Let's start by taking a look at the events that most affected our funds in 2015. While the year started out on a good note with a solid first quarter, there turned out to be a number of bumps in the road throughout the year. In Greece, several months of protests and demonstrations culminated in the banks closing their doors to prevent a run on cash. Following a referendum and negotiations with the EU, the situation now seems to have stabilized. In July, the stock market crash in China dominated news headlines. After enjoying substantial growth at the beginning of the year, stock markets then went on to nosedive. The situation peaked on 24th of August when the world's stock markets experienced the largest drop in several years following the announcement of disappointing key figures from China. And that day was quickly dubbed Black Monday, and there was a flurry of activity on Wall Street and the rest of the world's stock markets. The situation in South Korea, where SKAGEN has two of its largest investments, Samsung and Hyundai Motor, has been more positive in nature. In October, the electronics giant Samsung announced that they were increasing share buybacks as well as dividends to shareholders. The market reacted positively to the news, which also had a positive effect on the Hyundai share price. November was characterized by the dramatic events in Europe. The terrorist attack in Paris shook the continent and a state of emergency was declared in Paris, while the terror level was set to high alert in many countries. However, despite the dramatic events and strong reactions in the political arena, the stock markets remained largely unaffected by the news. When it comes to performance of SKAGEN's equity funds in December, SKAGEN Global beat its benchmark index in December and also for the year as a whole, while the other equity funds lagged behind their respective benchmark indices. Let's take a look at the companies that have contributed most to the fund's returns in December, both positively and negatively. For SKAGEN Global, two US companies are at the top of the positive contributors list, namely Dollar General Corp and General Electric, along with German Roche Holding. At the bottom of the list are State Bank of India, Kingfisher and Citigroup. For SKAGEN Kontiki, the top three performers in December were China Shipping Development, Indian Telecom Services Group Bharti Airtel, and Korean Reinsurance. China Shipping finally started trading again after being suspended, pending news on restructuring, which was announced this month. This will transform the company into a pure oil and gas shipping company and improve its profitability. At the bottom of the performance list for December were State Bank of India, the Russian grocery retailer X5, and Golar LNG. State Bank of India fell on no company-specific news. X5 was down with a weak Russian stock market, and Golar LNG fell due to oil price weakness, debt and liquidity concerns, and a potential dividend cuts. Last month's largest detractor, Stock Spirits Group, was the largest contributor to SKAGEN Focus performance. Whiting Petroleum Corp and Omega Protein were two of the main detractors during the month. And that was a quick overview for December. January is a busy month for SKAGEN, and we are currently preparing for our New Year's conference, which is set to take place in the middle of the month. You can find more information on our web pages or by contacting our customer services department. Thank you for watching.